You're tuned in to iLLANOiZE Radio, Chicago's most valuable radio show. And as always, we bring you guys the illest guests from around the city and globe. And today we got the homie Sid in the building.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing, Chicago? The weather is nice, man. I'm glad it's a good day to be.
Sound like he been
He
practicing on
was
your
right.
radio
I
voice.
say he came in ready.
Now, I was born with this voice. I had this voice since like 4th grade.
Oh, that's scary.
God.
No bullshit.
That was scary.
You want nobody picking on you then.
No, you know what's so crazy? My mom told me a story where, like, you know how everybody had the house phone.
Yes.
So you would call the house phone like, yeah, can I speak to? I'm gonna make up a name. Can I speak to Keisha? You're like, okay. Yeah, my mom. Who the fuck is this grown ass man calling? Then my mama got to get on the phone like, no, I'm sorry, this is my son. They actually go to school together. So I had this same voice. I'm not one of them niggas.
Oh.
He had to put his whisper in the dark.
What's up, though, man? I'm happy to be here with iLLANOiZE Radio. I really fuck with this y'all content, though.
Oh,
It happened
I love the
organically.
energy.
It was cool. I'm actually glad to be here. Super glad to be here. I'm not gonna say what app. We're not giving them a free plug, but I connected with Pretty Right on the new app that a lot of people use, and it's like a networking app. And we chopped it up real quick, and we actually was able to schedule it, and it worked out perfect. So I'm happy to get in on like the last weekend of Black History Month. Let's get it. No, it's not beef.
It's just why
But you know how
plug
like partnerships, like brand partnerships.
Okay.
Like, so
We ain't getting no cut.
Here we not getting no cut.
We ain't getting no bread from it, so we not gonna check.
Yeah, you know what app it was. We not getting no cut.
Yeah.
It's my new best friend, y'all.
Yeah,
They ain't give us no cut.
It's an
so
app
you
that
know.
I stopped going on for quite some time.
Yeah, I barely check. Well, you know what? I check in sometimes because it'd be a lot of useful information in the
morning.
Yep, I was about to say that.
After
in the
about
morning
1,
hours.
2 o'clock.
Yeah, it gets a little
I
water
got on that
Done
for
for
the
the day.
wrong reasons. I got on that for the wrong reasons. I was on that
Nah,
for the wrong
Jones
reasons.
be in
Don't
the-
take it like that.
Nah,
There's
Jones,
plenty of reasons.
Jones
but-
be on there for the toxic weddings.
Oh,
Hey, I don't know what that is, but like I would be like in a women's group, like all women, like I'm all the women are here. That's where I'm at.
I learned my lesson about that too.
You know what I mean? I just be in that listening.
Hopping in the conversation.
No, I'm not getting the. I'm just listening.
I wish I would have did that.
I'm just listening.
I wish I would.
I never want. I be rejecting all the invites to come up. Nope.
No, you know what? So useful app. We about to evaporate they fit. We talk about this shit for 20 more seconds. Useful app. Great networking tool. Great time waster or time passing tool.
Time killer.
And if you want to go national or international or expand regional, it's definitely an app to do it with. Because it's funny you said about the All Women's app. I actually what was like a signal to pull back and just kind of use it for my original intent, like, you know, pub the brand, was I was in a similar group, like hella women, all from the UK though. And they in there talking about colorism and sexism and misogyny and misogynoir and all this stuff that's in our community. But it was mostly like London, UK issues they was talking about. And I was in there for we was in there for a while. You know, they had me on the stage, we talking back and forth and we having good debate. And then by the end of the shit, they was salty at my ass. But it was good dialogue during it, but it made me realize, you know what? You could use this as a tool to just come on here and, you know, rock with who you rock with on some, you know, casual late at night. But in the day, more constructive. Gold Coast Gang on that app. We not saying what it is, but follow. You know it. Y'all should know what app it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
The demon time rooms and all the you know fuckeries and let me get a green bean, big bro. You should know what app it is.
Me, big bro.
Look, I'm lost with all the sling and lingo.
You know what I'm saying?
The tapping of the mute button to clap.
He must have had a real toxic experience because he hasn't been on there in a while.
Nah, bro,
Jones didn't want to be on there in the first place. I put Jones on the app. I put Jones on the app, and he just like, I don't want to be a part of this shit.
Nah, you sure did.
It's
being
whatever,
a
but
Scrooge
honestly,
about it.
I got on the app, and it's the last thing I'm gonna say. I made like 2 bands off the app in like 10 days.
Well, then you should stay on the goddamn app.
And it was like my first real 2 weeks active on the app. Like it was like from a Wild Hunters Wednesdays, where you do like a Cash App giveaway on Wednesdays for the wildest story that we have people tell. I hosted it with like, you know, me and a couple of the guys, and it's like a promo vehicle. The first winner get cash prize, the second winner get a cash prize, and the third winner get a free piece of merch from the brand Gold Coast Gang. So in the process of me, you know, having these rooms, I did the first one like maybe the week before Christmas, and then I did another one, you know, that week after. But people was pinging me into like more constructive rooms, and I did a room. It was a real like a fashion room, and I ended up networking with a bunch of people. But the website traffic between that and people just, I guess, following the brand Instagram or just coming across my shit that it was like 2 bands conversion in
that's dope.
And I'm not even counting since then, but it was a nice conversion rate. It's an app that if you use every day,
it can help
you can drive crazy traffic towards your
brand,
whatever you got,
you're doing.
whatever. But iLLANOiZE Radio, download that app. That's the app
they definitely download that app.
Look, you became my best friend.
Download that app.
Like, what is it like the brand, the clothing, the fashion?
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about Gold Coast game, man. Like,
all right. So
how things come together?
How did things come together?
How did Gold Coast game come together?
All right, let me condense this. Went away to
wow,
school.
I'm sorry, pause, because niggas do not try to condense nothing that they
niggas
say
be
when
like,
they
yeah, man,
they start from the bottom.
They start from the day
I was in the
that they
sandbox
woke
one
up
day.
with their idea.
So you gotta tell us from the sandbox, like you got
I
into
was in the
fashion.
sandbox one day, man, and I saw a cloud in the sky. No, I'm not gonna go back that far. So I've been doing fashion. I actually was partners in a different brand. People who know me know that, like, you know, and we parted ways. And so I was back at the drawing board. I was my daughter was about to be born. This was like 2010. My brother was actually finna do some time. So I was at like square one. I had to drop out of college and come back to the city. So I left the university I was at. Shout out to SIU, all the Salukis or whatever.
Oh, God damn!
And I came back to Harold Washington. So I'm at Harold Washington, you know, business major shit. Reconnected with my right hand. Shout out my bro Kiwi. And we was both going at the same time. And I was trying to get back into creating after I just parted. It was like some Rockefeller Dame Dash type shit, not even go into all that. But I was trying to get trying to get back in and shit. So I dropped a 420. I dropped the Gold Coast Gang crew neck. And the first logo I did, shout out to Vic from Leaders. He showed me. He gave me a crash course on graphic design. My homie actually donated a MacBook Pro. If you know, to the campaign. Self-taught graphic design. Vic from Leaders gave me like a crash course on Illustrator, and I did my first logo. It was like the first GCG logo was like a Gucci logo with the C imposed in the middle, so it was like GCG when you read it. Did a crew neck. I think I did I want to say like 48 of them, maybe 50 because I did 2 like alternate color ones. 50 crew necks. Gold foil print on black, and them bitches sold out in like
fast as hell.
Fast as hell. I don't want to lie. It was years ago. This was in 2011. It was years ago. Them shit sold out fast as hell. And like the first 24 customers, I delivered their crew neck in a rugby bag, like the polo rugby,
that's
the
cool.
blue and yellow bag from the store. It was like store folded and put in a polo rugby bag. The first 24 people, and a lot of people still got them shits now. They sold out. That was in like it was crew neck, so it had to be like January, February-ish or whatever the case may be. And then that 420, I put out a 420, like 2 420 shirts, like a this is a crazy video when y'all get a chance. A 420 shirt with a Smokey the Bear on there, and another one that was like a play on the Dare logo. Them shit sold out, and it's just been, it's been building ever since.
What year was this?
This was in 2011. So
Gotcha. Okay.
Keep in mind, trials and tribulations, life shit. I'm still a grown ass man. Everybody likes to tell these stories where they don't tell how they was getting money in the between time. Like, bro, you was just selling a couple t-shirts. Like, give the background. Like, was you working at RB's while you was doing this, or was you fucking around in the street? And I don't incriminate yourself, but like give the real story. So obviously, life shit. I'm making stuff happen. I'm a father, so my daughter was being born in 2010. So my daughter was 1 when I started this shit. Wow. And she 10 now. She's about to be 11 next month. And
learn that you've been doing this shit for a decade.
Right. Yeah, been doing this shit for a decade. Graphic design shit I did. Album artwork for some of the rest in peace Fredo Santana. I did a cover, like one of the draft covers for one of his mixtapes. I forget the
which one. That was 2011. It's probably
no. It wasn't in 2011, but it was yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you exactly. But I did a draft cover for his mixtape. Rondo number 9. Controversial Chicago artist. Locked Up 9. I did his first mixtape. Cover. I did the Rondo Lane mixtape cover, and I did the Steve Drive mixtape cover for him. I've been behind the scenes and shit. A lot of people who know me know it's a million other stories and shit. But to keep it to fast forward, trials and tribulations, rocking out, been associated with fashion, been, you know, having releases, one-off releases, the Gold Coast, people call them Gold Coast Buck 50s, but it was like ostrich hats, snakeskin hats we did and shit. People still run up on me. We dropped them in like 2012-ish, 2013-ish, people still come up on me. We did the whole Loft and Lacuna thing, and everybody did. If you're not a real, if you my age, this is my age, if you my age, and you're a Chicago creative, and you never had a Loft and Lacuna, then you're not doing your shit. You're not busting, bro. You had everybody got one band.
One story for a month. Everybody
had at least a month. Break the lease, month to month, 6 month lease, a year. Everybody did at least 6 months in Lacuna, whether they was, you know, affiliated or had their own shit in there. But a lot of shit, and then just, you know, trying to stay semi-consistent with it, with having real world priorities. And then I had a Thunderstrike idea last year.
Boom.
In the midst of the uprising. Rest in peace, George Floyd. Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor, and, you know, all the people who we lost in 2020. Not even to make light of it, but in the midst of looting and rioting, I was at one of my homies' crib, and I had the idea. It struck me, as they always do. Looted Vuitton.
We're going to pause you right there.
Looted Vuitton. I'm going to come back to
We're going to come back to that because that definitely struck a lot of attention.
The iLLANOiZE app is available now on Apple and Google Play Store. Download the app, get the latest news, stream our podcasts, watch interviews, and listen to iLLANOiZE Radio live. Download the app right now.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Pretty Right, and you just tuned back into another super dope episode of iLLANOiZE Radio. If you're watching my face right now on YouTube, you know what I'm about to say to you. There's a little red button right there. Mm-hmm. You know what click it. Cause you stop playing with me.
Stop playing.
Subscribe to us on YouTube and download that motherfucking iLLANOiZE app, because what else are you doing? Exactly. All right, but thank you for coming on back. We are sitting here with Sid of Gold Coast Gang.
I'm here.
So right before the break, we were talking about Louis Vuitton.
Oh, all right.
So tell us how you said you had a
thunder idea.
Yeah, man. I was from the Hundreds. Shout out the Hundreds where I'm from. You know,
what part of the
170 Champlain, 104th Cottage Grove.
Shout out.
Wheelworks.
Shout out.
The whole area, Gately Stadium. Anybody who went to CPS, you know, the infamous Gately Stadium. I grew up a few
I went to
blocks
Brooks.
from over there. So. Went to Morgan Park. So.
Oh, my cousins was there.
Yeah, I was in the hood though. I was at my homie crib, and it was during the
it was busting.
Yeah, it was during the uprising when people was, you know, looting and going to stores, and he was under a wealth of abundance. He was under a wealth of abundance. Okay,
he was blessed.
He was blessed. It was a wealth of abundance. It was a bunch of stuff, you know, random shit. I left with gifts. People were just giving me shit, and I had a thought, and I usually either put it in my notes section or text it to myself. And I sent the text, you know, like, make sure I'm going to it later. And actually, I sent it to my wife. Instead of sending it to myself, I actually sent it to my wife. She was like, what? And I'm like, don't worry about it. This was like a Sunday. So that Monday, I didn't work on the design. I think that Monday, so that I didn't do it that Sunday. I think that Monday I actually, you know, got back to business, worked on the design. That Tuesday I was, you know, put the samples together. I'm like, and I put it out, you know, on Twitter and shit. I posted, you know, like a layout of it was like a size run of shirts, and ring. It was a hit since then. It was like going quote unquote viral. A bunch of.
And this was before you actually put the product out.
No, yeah, this is before I put the product out. So I had had the idea, and it was crazy because I order a bunch, you know, anybody who have a brand or anybody that's a creative, people who produce clothes, not just people who have a brand, but if you vertically integrated, you got to keep boxes and boxes of you know, hoodies, shirts, hats, socks, onesies, like, you know, I'm just having shit. And I had ordered some real specific blanks, and I had them, and I knew that I wanted to do something, you know, on this specific style shirt. And then I had the idea, and I'm like, this is gonna pair well with this. And I did it. I did like of course, I said the picture was of a size run, but I printed like a dozen or some shit, like, because that was how many blanks I ordered just to see how they look or whatever. And I'm like, I hate when I order some shit. Like when you let's just say I'm you know, a boutique owner, and I order one of these jackets. If I like it, but I only ordered one, I'm gonna be mad because now I got to order more of them and wait.
And then do the shipping.
But if I get them and I already got a dozen, but I don't really like them, then it's like okay, whatever. I could just do something with them, but it's not what I thought. But I just hate when I don't get enough of something. So bumped into I'm like, man, so I posted this going crazy. Bumped into one of my homies, DJ Evo. He's like I say my DJ because I'm just so hip hop that I have a DJ for no reason.
You're a fashion designer with a DJ.
I'm a fashion designer with a DJ.
But my DJ.
Yeah.
My nigga DJ Evo, he's my DJ. If I ever throw an event, that'll be most likely the DJ who's DJing 9 out of 10 times.
That's dope
or whatever.
to be a fashion designer with a DJ.
Yeah.
Right?
That was a flex.
Yeah, I'm a fashion designer with a DJ.
Yeah.
And he's crazy with the graphic design too. But so we was building, we was having a whole conversation, elevating our minds. You know what I'm saying? And something told me before I left out the house to take a product shot. For people who are unfamiliar with what a product shot is when you put an item or that you're selling on an ambient white background, take a picture, as bright as you can, and then in professional ways we use Photoshop to take out the white background so the t-shirt appears that it's floating in heaven. But I took a regular picture, white backdrop, went over there. We over there chopping it up about business and whatever. We manifesting, just talking about goals and just different shit that we talking about doing and agendas. And this is second quarter 2020. This is June 2020. We just chopping it up. And man, this is the pandemic too, where you only see like 2 motherfuckers outside of your immediate family. Where it's like we thought this shit was gonna be like I Am Legend, where where you say hi to the postman and the UPS man, and then you might see whatever. So we over there kicking it, and then I update the web store with the product shot and with the pricing and I'm sitting there and I look at I check my analytics all the time. I'm looking at the commerce app. I shit like and I'm like, damn, I'm telling my homie, I'm like, this shit is crazy. I'm like, it's it's going nuts on the website. And it's funny, on some angel numbers for all my super woke people out there, I updated the website at 11:11.
Oh, you made a wish.
And by 11:40,
you was up.
Free bet. So like 11:40, I'm telling my homie like, damn, bro. I'm like, now I'm getting mad at myself because I'm like,
you didn't order enough shirts.
No, that wasn't gonna be the issue. The issue was that I posted the tweet at like 2:30 this afternoon. I'm like, Joe, if I would have had this now, man, what's so crazy is that how people come under a viral tweet and say, donate to my GoFundMe or click my web store or listen to my new song. They'll put a link, a follow up. Usually the person who posts it, or even a friend, or even somebody who don't know them, will come under a viral tweet them. I hadn't even done that. The website had just dropped Memorial Day. Man, this is like June 4th. The website had just dropped Memorial Day. I had only taken literally, this is June 4th. So one order. I had taken one order off the website and shipped. I had facilitated one order. I had a whole different, a whole spring, summer collection that was on the website. And I updated I updated the shirt, on the website, but the link was just in my bio. I hadn't even tweeted the follow-up tweet, the shirt is now available. This traffic that was blowing my shit up was just from people seeing the tweet and clicking the link in my bio. I'm like, damn. I'm like, if this month would have been available for purchase since this afternoon, ain't no telling. My homie Jabba was like, no, bro, that's not how it worked. He don't put no regret on it. He it is what it is. We hear what you are where you are now. Just go from there. That was the best advice he could have gave me. That shit is.
Do you feel like protesting around that time, helped contribute to some of those sales?
Yes, I feel like because this what happened. Looted Vuitton.
Yeah.
People look at it, they thinking, oh, he's making a political statement. They looted the Louis Vuitton store and the Gucci store, But when I had the idea, it was literally because I was all this looted shit. It was all this looted. It came to me. So streetwear, what people don't know, this whatever. People don't know what the term for it is. A logo flip. When we changed the logo. What's a fucking Taco Bell? You finna have a taco event, we make it say Taco Bico on that bitch. Like, it's a logo flip.
Taco Bico.
You see what I'm saying? It's a logo flip. So
Gotcha.
this is something that's been in streetwear forever, where they take a logo that's existing and flip it around and use it how they want to use it.
And speaking of that logo flip too, like, did you catch any backlash from that?
Not
man?
yet.
'Cause,
Not yet. I'm gonna run it to the ground. That's actually part of the March Madness thing I was talking about. But
He said,
no, I'm not. I'm just telling y'all.
how you supposed to do it.
Me and Virgil know some mutual people. We over there, Louis. So I know that somebody saw it already. I'm sure, but I don't care. This is funny that the conversation we was having on that app. It was a lady. She was actually a brand lawyer, and it was like nothing but fashion people. I don't want to name a lot of brands, but it was people from different brands networking and mutual, like, following, becoming mutuals on that app, and people was talking about that, like, he was like, somebody said, one of the people, I felt like it was a hater thing, like, you're not worried about getting sued by Louis? Somebody else in the audience, on the stage said this, and then I'm like, no, like, shit, catch me if you can. Like,
get it back in blood.
And so the lady, she a whole lawyer, this is an industry lawyer. She said, yeah, she said that's pretty much what it is. She said because these brands have teams that scour the internet for this information, but they not gonna take the time and energy to sue you. And if they do, they're gonna send you a cease and desist first. So when the cease and desist come, then it'll come, but it hasn't came yet.
So run it up. Run it up.
Treat it like a block. We gonna burn it down until you come up.
Second week of March, I'm resurrecting the dead for everybody. I'm bringing the original Louis Vuitton back. She actually has one of those, and that's one of I'm not even gonna get into like that. Yeah, that's one of the ones. But I'm doing a restock of that. But the Louis helped it a lot. To get back to that. Because the political climate around being a black creative is that you either have to produce your artwork with the political intent in mind. So it's either like a few categories. It's people who are, and we say woke people or whatever, people who, outwardly conscious, where they produce artwork that has that type of, commentary. As soon as you see it, you're like, oh yeah, he on some super woke shit. Then you have people who, like myself, who I just create art, and then if you get to talking to me about it, I'll be able to explain how it plays into the general context of me being a black creative. And then you have people like iLLANOiZE Radio, where every weekend, every week, the show can't be about Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. So you all have to go on creating in spite of it, where you have to not ignore it, you have to acknowledge it, but you have to create in spite of it. Like all these rappers who are still making party music because they have a duty to keep us, tapping our feet. So in my case, I'm just creative. I tend to make art and then think about the implications of it afterwards, instead of making it, trying to go into something thinking, I need this shit to have a message. I need this shit to be super deep, and so it just aided it. It wasn't on purpose. I wasn't on no super political shit when I made it, but the times that we were in facilitated me actually making the design, and then facilitated people wanting to buy it and wear it as like a memorable.
So you feed off the energy of the people.
Yeah. It was a situation. Like I was literally in this situation where,
because that was history. That was history.
Yeah.
We weren't like, at least my generation. I don't know how old you are, but like, I didn't get to see any of the other riots for real. So like this was. I mean,
none of us was alive.
I mean, I'm just saying shit. I don't know.
When they was rioting about Rodney King, I was an infant. I don't know if I was born.
My teacher wrote the TV in the classroom. It was like, we're gonna watch this video that happened a long time
but
ago.
I get what you're saying though. It was the first time that we felt some civil uprising.
And then
as
like with us,
our generation,
with our generation and. With our generation, it's just like how we process things, and we want to turn shit into a movement so bad. Like, there's a lot of trendy things that happen. So, like, I think that, not to say it was on trend, but it was on brand for what was happening in the world at the time. Like, literally, everybody was wearing Louis Vuitton. Like, motherfucker had Louis Vuitton, Louis Gucci, Louis.
I would counter that and
Gucci.
Say, niggas was being kind of stingy with that Louis. Niggas was being stingy with the Louis. It was a lot of other brands. I get what you're saying though. On some funny shit, people was big, but you know what? It was a lot of
looted Nike.
It was a lot of repatriated merchandise.
I like how you said that, repatriated.
It was a lot of repatriated merchandise in the streets, and the funny part is, my wife, she always tell it was a footage about a dude who was. They had footage of a Subway. It was like in a strip mall that got broken into, and I don't know if it was out west or out south or whatever, but Subway in the strip mall, you could, You know how many of them it is.
Right, yeah.
And it was a guy who was behind the counter making a sandwich. During the looting, he's behind the counter making him a sandwich. They like broke in the subway, of course, the employees.
I think I saw that video. He was making a sandwich.
But just think about how
That show
hungry that brother was.
That he literally looted us.
That he in the midst of committing several felonies.
It's
start to make a sandwich.
to eat fresh.
But that's,
you
but
know,
people survived off
If
of
you
that.
got
though.
Twitter, you said Malcolm X, this brother is starving.
What we
That
gonna-
brother was starving. No, jokes aside though. So it was a lot of people who was hungry and thirsty and
People broke in
poor
Walgreens
and without
for
resources
medicine.
and took everything. They was taking everything. So on the one hand, it was a lot of, because what people gonna point to is the Louis Vuittons and the Gucci's and the Dior's and all them actually what's crazy is that they lied about the Rolex store getting burglarized. And this was in New York, but none of their watches was taken. Because they don't even keep the watches. I don't know if they claim that they didn't keep the watches in the store or whatever, but the part of the store that the people broke in and had access to it was no watches, so they inflated. But they report on all the bullshit that was getting stolen. But people were stealing groceries.
Yeah.
People were stealing turkey bacon. People were stealing Similac, formula,
Pampers,
diapers. You know what I mean? Allergy medicine,
tampons,
Zyrtec,
all types of stuff.
you know what I'm saying?
blood pressure pills.
Just all type of shit. Everything was taken. You know what I'm saying? The type of shit that people not gonna buy from you.
Mm-hmm.
When I say taken, like a woman is not necessarily gonna. Can't nobody just come up and sell 3 boxes of tampons on the street necessarily.
Yeah.
They might. But that's the type of shit somebody taking because they need that. They know somebody in their household or their extension of their household need that. So it was a lot of shit that was being, repatriated that people really needed. And that was the backdrop to that. So yeah, it was just a lot of what they call synergy. I was in the right place at the right time. They say luck. Good luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So that's what it was. As I mentioned, I've been doing this shit for years. So
And then boom.
I've been prepping for years, and I got 50. And I'm not comparing myself to nobody else, but I've got so much shit in the chamber. I got more shit than I got time to do, because I am a grown ass man with responsibilities and shit. But I got more shit than I got time to do. So March Madness though, I'm about to go hard, bring that energy back up, because in the course of Louis Vuitton being so successful, once I cleared the backlog, because how she said about it's not even enough shirts for this. It was crazy. I had to get on my Amazon. I had to get on my Jeff Bezos shit. Honestly, I had to come up with a whole nother inventory system to make it happen the way I did. And so to continue the small little part from the story, one of the first people to wear the Louis Vuitton in public, actually the first person to wear it in public was Stu. Sweatsbuster. She did the interview with y'all too.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
who I
wore
saw
it.
it on first.
She was doing a food drive, or I think they was giving away hot food.
Yeah, around. Yeah,
We talked about that.
They was giving away hot food, and they were, I think it was like a regular food drive too, and something like that. But it was it was in June, so I know it wasn't like no coats or nothing. But I know part of the charity event was that they was giving away hot food, and I think they gave away grocery boxes or something like that too. But she wore the shirt. It's going viral movie now. She have an established brand. People like, girl, this your shirt. They like, no. She like, no, this his shit. So that's contributing to it. The shit just went viral movie. And then when I was in the process of me clearing out the backlog, man, I already had other merchandise that was prepped to go. So from June till about October, I pretty much dropped something every week. I did the Nipsey Hussle edition, the Blue on Blue, Blood on the Leaves, Red on Red in October, the hoodie, the Blood on the Leaves hoodie that's red. Yeah,
you getting it in.
Yeah.
Do you feel like certain influencers, help at least expand that Louis Vuitton brand, or just Gold Coast in general?
Yes and no. So yes, because it's one of them shirts that I guarantee you saw somebody in it. Mm-hmm. Before me and her, linked up or whatever said I was gonna do it, I feel like you saw somebody wearing the shirt, even if, if you didn't know,
I didn't know who the fuck you was, but when I seen somebody with your shirt on,
so everybody, if you from Chicago, the South Side, West Side, East Side, then the up north, you seen somebody in the shit. That was one thing. The other thing is that Stu, she was one of the first people to purchase one, so that's not like an influencer thing. And I know her, so it's not like an influencer thing. So yeah, that's definitely that's definitely a situation where I know for a fact people saw it from her platform and wanted to get one.
Break that down a little more too. You know, we got a little time. Break down like the because some people see fashion designers giving merch away to help boost their brand presence. But you know, as you just broke down, she actually bought her product.
Yeah, and that's not to say because I didn't gave her shit before too. Not to say it like that. Like I think the Nipsey Blue Louis Vuitton that she wore, I think I gave it to her. But she might have bought it. I don't remember. But she wore that one too. And it went viral movie. But it was like around the weekend that it dropped. She actually wasn't even doing an event. I think she was just kicking it or whatever. But she wore it with a nice fit with some other, like Louis kicks or something. People latched onto it. But the thing is that, and this is one of the biggest things I say about networking is that I'm actually that nigga a little bit. You know, I know a lot of people. And so as an extension of that, you know, now that we done came and linked up, I actually just brought y'all some shit today. Because I felt like it. But now in the future, I could just say, hey, look, I'm dropping this shit that Saturday that y'all doing the show. Why don't y'all wear it on that Saturday? Now y'all going to be filming the episode, and all three of y'all got some shit on that's coming out that day. That's the difference between me being on my Instagram Explore page trying to message somebody doing a TikTok challenge to get them to wear my shit and me leveraging people that I actually know. So that's the biggest thing where...
Like what's like hearing the blessings that's been coming your way, and then earlier you was mentioning how like at one point your baby was on the way, your brother was getting locked up, and what kept you from falling off and being like, man, fuck this fashion shit, I'm finna go get some money. Like most people dive into the streets or go get a real job. Like what kept you on standing on this?
I did all that. Everything you just said, I did all that. You know, but
not to lose focus.
Oh yeah, so because I get what you're saying. The biggest thing is, do you love this shit? I love this shit. I'm a hip hop ass nigga. Like I was joking about me having a DJ. When I first got into fashion, it was because I wanted to make my own shit because I knew what I wanted and I didn't see it presented, you know, in stores. And I also am a young person from the hood. My mama wasn't going buying XYZ. I had to figure out how to get some money myself. I had to figure out how to do this shit myself. So the fact that I actually love it kept me going all these years. That I'm like, I do this shit I create because I love this, and I'm making a bag off this shit. It's not, you know, it's not no secret that everything that GCG ever put out this 2020, you know, and obviously I've been doing greater volume as far as, you know, the numbers of, you know, pieces of merchandise that I'm putting out. This the first time I ran sales. 20, like, you know. Now, as a matter of fact, maybe not even 2020. Oh, you know, towards the end of 2020, I put stuff on sale. But it's just, so I've been blessed to be able to have shit that the people connect with and it's selling out. And I knew that, hey, you know what? You have to be a person in the space and in the environment who actually does it because they love it. Because there's so many people who want to get in it for cloud or because they think it's a get rich quick scheme or because they a get with, so you do something. Now they want to do what you do because they just want to get, you know, they just want to get with some shit, you know. I've never been that kind of person. So that's what kept me going, that I actually have a dedication to hip-hop, fashion, streetwear, music, Chicago, the streets, and where it converges into what I bring to the game. So that's why I ain't give up. Because I knew I was going to do what I'm doing now. And it's crazy. I
mean, you rocking some gear right now. You got the head on, the shirt on. Where can people go cop the merch?
Gold, Gold, Coast, COAST, gang, GANG, .shop, /shop, goldcoastgang.shop. That's the website. My Instagram is It's Just Pay. Like, just pay, man. Just pay the bill. It's
no
just
discounts.
Pay. No discount. It's just pay.
Just pay.
Just pay. It's just pay. It's in my bio. That's my Twitter. Follow it. Use the code Thanks Again For at checkout for $10 off your order, or use 2020 free to get free shipping.
You need to make us a code.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh,
look. Hey,
let me talk about that off air.
Don't give up the sauce. You know we selling sauce in Chicago. Don't give it up for free.
Okay.
No, but you can go on the website. This is actually the second part. So this is this truck I had, the shirt I got on. It's a shirt that's gonna come another color and a hoodie with all embroidery, not printed. It's all like
okay. I love some embroidery. I'm sorry,
1,800 stitches embroidery. Something
me.
crazy number of embroidery on the front of the hoodie. Laughter of the Hyena. I put the first part out. Close to the end of last year, it was 2 shirts, like a vintage, kind of like the Louis Vuitton shirt. It was a green shirt with like a pack of hyenas and a gray long sleeve shirt with the same imagery. With the same imagery. And so this one is going to be this shirt, hat, and a trucker. This shirt, the trucker hat, the hoodie, and then I got some other surprises shirts. Laughter at Hyenas, the whole thing. It's actually part 2 of it because I'm really just getting my feet wet with doing whole themed collections where I can have a rollout and kind of get a team together to shoot a promo video and have a short film or whatever it may be. But this is some real National Geographic type shit. Hyenas don't have they don't have the same kind of hierarchy system as other animals or lions, because people always talk about like Lion King. Lions. So with hyenas, it's a matriarchal lineage system, meaning if your mother was prominent, then you're a prominent hyena. Mm-hmm. But that's only in your own pack. When the male hyena want to be grown and have his own family, he got to migrate to another pack of hyenas and earn his spot.
That's why you chose that hyena.
Yeah. So it was crazy. I was in creation mode, because as I mentioned, I got more shit than I have time to do. And I was in creation mode, and I kind of was making a calendar for myself, and I was watching, and I watched probably 6 of these, they're like real hyena documentaries or whatever, and I kind of got into like a YouTube hole watching them, and it was super cool. Like, where they let you follow it, they get like the little names. They're like, Daisy is, they follow a different hyena, but it really it stood out to me. And I'm one of the people, I like watching gruesome ass animal, hyena ripping the neck off of antelope and shit. I like watching that type of shit. That's how I kind of segued into looking up hyenas. But in our community, people don't really realize this, but we have like a matriarchy where black women do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to family building. Aside from just single mothers, because that's like what people put at the forefront of what I'm talking about. But I mean, just like your auntie is usually the one who have a family dinner. She's usually people who, when great grandma died, she
soul
left
food.
the recipe to
soul food.
Somebody, yeah. So it's a whole thing. Like, you can look this up, you can Google this. That women hold black families together because they the ones who pass on the recipes.
Right.
They keep the family events going. There's generally a lot of families that are headed by women. So that resonated to me about, the hyenas and how they kind of parallel to, not to compare us to animals, but just how who your mom is kind of, I don't want to say predict, but contributes a lot to the type of person that shapes who you end up growing up to be, depending on, right, whether good or bad. And then the shit just looks so cool too. The shit just look cool.
So when you drop it?
So ideally, I want to say the third weekend of, let me pull out the calendar real quick so I don't get to line y'all, because
third week of March.
Like the third weekend of March. So this first week, March 6th, let me get to the first. March 6th, Louis Vuitton restock. The first Louis Vuitton is coming back. The first black and white Louis Vuitton. For everybody that's in my message requests on Instagram and in the Gold Coast Gang brand Instagram message requests, the Gold Coast Gang original Louis Vuitton restock is this weekend. No, next weekend, March 6th. That's going to be the first, weekend of March Madness. And then every weekend after that, the 13th, the 20th, the 27th, I'm going to put out something else from Gold Coast Gang. So I think I'm going to save the Laughter of the Hyenas Part 2 collection, if you will, to be for March 27th. But yeah, that's the plan, though. March Madness, I'm blitzing this time. Something every week.
Gotcha.
Dropping something every week.